Kholoud Waleed is an editor of Enab Baladi, an underground newspaper in Syria.
It's very hard to tell the truth in Syria. The regime is targeting our reporters. And if they know that we are running a newspaper, they are going to detain us or to kill us. But when you live the massacre and you discover that your dear people killed and the regime is ready to eradicate all the Syrian people just to keep himself in power, you have to be more powerful than the regime to continue.
Enab Baladi is one of the most prominent independent newspapers in Syria. It's turned to by thousands of Syrians desperate for accurate news and by an international community struggling to understand the realities on the ground. Like an estimated 3 million people, Kholoud is a refugee. She was forced to flee Syria when her work as a journalist was discovered by the regime and she feared assassination.
We discovered that all our information are revealed to the regime, so we are in danger. If you are caught by the regime forces, you're going to face death. So we have to leave. We started the newspaper in a very secret way. Even my mom never knew that I'm a member of the newspaper.
In 2011, against the backdrop of popular protest against the Assad regime, Kholoud and her friends started the newspaper.
We decided to have our own media platform because people in Damascus itself never knew that people in Douma or in Daria or in other places are being killed by the regime.
Each night, she edits the stories of 23 journalists reporting from some of the most war-torn and isolated parts of Syria.
This is my control center, and I'm checking if my reporter is online. Sometimes she doesn't have access to the electricity, so it's very difficult to get in contact with her. Most of the reporters are in contested areas that they have routines and continuous shelling and bombardment. They live under risk all day, all night. We document the atrocities and war crimes committed by anyone in Syria. These stories are hidden and no one can document them like us because we have been there. The group who started the newspaper, we were not journalists, we were activists. We were like a bunch of enthusiastic people who dreamt of the change, and we thought that the regime is not going to be as fierce as it appeared to be. But things went crazy.
The Assad regime began a brutal crackdown, killing an estimated 150,000 of its own people. With few foreign journalists on the ground, Kholoud and her team became an important, often solitary voice from inside Syria. As the reputation of the paper grew, so did the risks.
The newspaper itself lost 3 people of its staff, of its founding staff, targeted by the regime when they were killed by the missiles. They took the risk to convey the message of Syria to the world. At the moment when I heard about their death, I felt all our work is useless. And not our work, everything in life is useless. And there's nothing to continue in this life. There's no need for happiness, no need for breathing even. But after a couple of minutes, I think back, like, they sacrificed their lives for our sake and for the sake of the nation. So we don't have to stop. They push me forward to go and continue.